annual meeting to order. Everybody has seen the agenda. It's out there. On the move, I would like to adopt the agenda by acclamation. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The agenda has been adopted. Rabbi, would you like to give an oratorium at this point?
But the reason I love Judaism isn't necessarily the same reason that you love Judaism. We all in this room love Rodeph Sholom. But the reason that I love Rodeph Sholom isn't necessarily the reason you love Rodeph Sholom. And that's the strength of that love. Because if we love it for various reasons, it's a stronger love. It's a love that will never be canceled out. If we love our Judaism for multiple reasons, it's a stronger Judaism that will never be canceled out. Abraham is a lover of Judaism. In fact, sometimes I think a little too much in love with Judaism. The 3 a.m. texts and emails, which I suspect are not going to stop, with halakhic questions, or actually, sorry, in Abe's case, halakhic answers that he would give me. I'm sure now I'm fine to get questions again, which would be nice. See, Abe thought he could do the job of the rabbi and the president at the same time. It's all good. But Abraham Marcadis loves Judaism. He's a Jew to his core. And that love of Judaism isn't just based on Shabbos services. It's not just based on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It's not based on Pesach. It's not based on tzitzit and tefillin. It's based on all of those things. Steve Haubenstock loves Judaism. And his love for Judaism isn't based on his children. His children are part of it. It's not just based on his wife. His wife is part of it. He adores coming to Shabbos services. Okay, enjoys it. And all of those things make that strong connection. Their example needs to lead us. Rodeph Sholom needs to be a community of people that love Judaism. Not just because we have great parties, but because we have great classes. Not just because we have great classes, but because we have great services. Not just because we have great services, but because we have other things to offer. And when we become that kind of community, when we become a community that is not but Tolui b'davar, we will truly become a light for all of us to follow and all of us to be proud of. When we become that community, our strength will never be able to go away because there's too many tying it together. Have a great day, and I look forward to this wonderful morning.
State of the synagogue address. 2 years ago, I was being installed as president. I was filled with enthusiasm, excitement, but a bit unsure about what the next 2 years would bring. Being president of Rodeph Sholom has been the most gratifying and fulfilling job that I've ever undertaken. It's been a pleasure to serve this congregation and a pleasure getting to know so many of our congregants on a personal basis. I've never for one moment regretted serving as president. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. The past couple of years have passed quickly, but when thinking back, much has been accomplished. Much of the progress has been made in process and infrastructure, which may not be outwardly apparent for many years. I'm sure, though, that immediately after I'm done, all the changes will start to kick in. Everything's going to run smoothly, and everyone's going to say, I'm not sure what Marcadis did, but that's Steve Haubenstock. He's a genius. We have had our challenges, During the first few months, what we initially thought was a balanced budget was actually a yearly deficit running between $100,000 and $200,000 a year, and had been that way for many years. The thought was at the time that next year's dues pays for last year's deficit. But we were actually paying down our debt by spending our inheritance. We had driven up our line of credit to the max, and our cemetery perpetual care fund had no dollars in it. At about the same time, we realized that our accounting systems have been inconsistent for years, and the reports we were getting were not giving us an accurate reading of what was really happening. Then we had an unexpected staff change, with our entire administrative staff leaving within about 2 weeks of each other. Thankfully, we had our longtime volunteers, Bootsy, Denise, and Sarah, who took up the slack, and with the help of Lee Tobin and Alan Sowerk, had taken on the job as interim director and administrative assistant. We continued to function while we conducted a search. Within a few months, we had outsourced all of our accounting to a professional group so that our reports would be consistent year to year. Michael Lee spent a great deal of time in getting our financial systems in order. Ken Kahn joined us as executive director and has been extremely helpful in getting our accounting and administrative processes straight, even before he and Cheryl had a chance to get accustomed to his new job and his new community. Our congregation also came to our rescue. For the past 2 high holiday seasons, our members contributed record conidre funds, with last year more than doubling the year before. In times of need, our congregation will rally together for a worthwhile cause. We use newly acquired funds to restore our cemetery perpetual care fund, pay off the line of credit, pay down about 50% of the cemetery debt, restore some savings, and add significantly to our long-term endowment. But our yearly deficit remains, and we know that dues are expected to cover only about 50% of our expenses in the future. In anticipation of this, we simplified our various endowments into a central Rodeph Sholom Legacy Endowment Fund, and created our new Legacy Endowment Society, which will help raise awareness and emphasize planned giving and importance of endowments. Currently, we have a little over $1 million in our long-term endowment funds, which is to remain in perpetuity, while we use only the earnings in keeping the principal intact. We own all of our property outright and have a relatively small debt on our new cemetery. But our biggest asset remains our loyal congregants, who for over 115 years has sustained Rodeph Sholom. As president, you get a lot of advice like, somebody should organize the classes. Somebody needs to get some greeters. Somebody needs to welcome new members. Somebody should make sure we have a menu. Somebody needs to polish the silver, and on and on. I always thought this somebody must really be a special person. The problem is, there's no one named somebody in the Rodeph directory. Somebody is all of us. I'm sad to say that this year we lost 2 of those somebodies. Sammy Bobo and Bootsy Oster, who both made Rodeph Sholom their lifelong mission. We have many somebodies here, but we need more. At Rodeph Sholom, there are no obstacles to getting involved, and I encourage everyone to become a somebody. Join a committee. If you see a need, help fill it, or start a project that you're passionate about. With all of us working together, we'll be able to do anything we want. Before I go, there are some people I'd like to thank. Our synagogue staff, Brian, Miguel, and Kathy. Thank you for being dependable and always willing to help out when we need you. Ken Kahn. Ken started here as our executive director less than a year ago and has worked hard to keep our synagogue and administration on the right track. Ken, thank you. Judy Vanderstel. So much more than an education director. Judy has a long experience overseeing our educational program and is the oil that keeps our synagogue running smoothly. Just this morning she was telling me, hey, you can't do that, you gotta do this. Okay, Judy. She's giving me direction. It's okay, I got it, Judy. Thank you to our board of directors and executive board. If the last 2 years have been successful, it's because of you. Thanks for spending an enormous amount of personal time helping the synagogue. Most of you will be staying on the board next year, and I hope will continue to take future leadership positions. To Laura Kreitzer, who couldn't be here today, thanks for being the voice of experience and reason when we needed it, and for your service as immediate past president. I look forward to stepping into your shoes and into the most desirable position on the board. Marcy, you've been involved in Rodeph leadership for many years, but over the next 2 years as president-elect, you'll learn so much more than you ever knew, and so much more than you'll ever want to know. But you'll be more than ready to serve as president when your time comes. Cantor, thank you for all you do, making our services so pleasant, the beautiful music and song that actually make praying seem like fun. Just yesterday, the cantor in honor of Cinco de Mayo did services in Ein Kalahenu to La Cucaracha. It was great. Thank you again for also teaching our B'nai Mitzvah students and adult congregants, developing musical programs and cultural events, and for your friendship. Rabbi, where are you? You survived my presidency. So I'm proud to know that you do have a few more gray hairs to show for it. I hope that Steve continues to add to that. For, as they say in Tanakh, and I know you love Hebrew, gray hair is a crown of glory. It is attained by the way of righteousness. Thank you for being our spiritual leader, for being a skilled and talented teacher, the enormous amount of hard work that you do on behalf of Rodeph Sholom that many times goes unnoticed. Thank you for being a friend in times of need. Steve, you know, I was walking up the walkway this morning, and I noticed it needed a little cleaning. And the carpet is fraying over in the corner. It's a little too warm in here. Our yard side light wasn't on last week, and you billed me the wrong amount. I haven't been able to do that in a while. The problem with being president is that there's no one else to complain to. But you are more than ready to assume the mantle as president. Remember to enjoy and relish the moments you have as synagogue president that will pass fast. Have fun. It'll be one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do. At all times, remember that you are the congregation's representative to the board, the clergy, the staff, the volunteers, and public. When in doubt of the right course, remember to always put the interest of the congregation first, and you'll never go wrong. I'm handing the synagogue over to you in perfect shape. Don't mess it up. I know you'll be an excellent president and take Rodeph to even higher levels. Betsy? Thank you for being there for me, pitching in when needed, helping me find pithy comments for announcements on Friday night. Thank you for your patience when I'm not at home, and especially for your patience when I am. After many years of sitting on the bima, I look forward to sitting next to you again in services. I'm sure you're looking forward to it. To the congregation, I look forward to staying involved with Rodeph in the future. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to serve our great congregation.
Present the Marilyn Whitner Education Award on behalf of the Rodeph Sholom Caring Committee. This award was established to honor Marilyn Whitner, who founded the Caring Committee and chaired the Caring Committee for 18 years. Marilyn is known in our community as an outstanding Hillsborough County teacher, school principal, and administrator. The award is given to an outstanding high school graduating senior who is selected by the Education Committee of our synagogue. This is a special year for us here at Rodeph because we have 2 graduating seniors who will receive this award and a kippah beautifully personalized by our own Ariana Kornwasser. The Caring Committee is delighted to present the Marilyn Whitner Education Award 2018, to Jacob Grossman and Alex Panther. Mazel tov.
Okay, welcome. This is a message from Nina Sinsley, who is living in another location. And she wrote this for us too, so these are her words. Almost 25 years ago, Howard and Nina served as co-principals of the religious school at Congregation Rodeph Sholom. They volunteered that year with the provision that the salary will be placed in escrow to be used when a credentialed Jewish educator was found. Judy Vanderstep, myself, I was later hired and implemented two of our very favorite ideas. She provided a word of the week for assemblies and also initiated a 2-week day camp. Her late husband had many years to observe this awesome person as a congregant and would be generally pleased to be here. They would both be generally pleased to be here. She sends her entire wishes to our congregation for good health, prosperity, and success, and very proud to award this certificate to somebody who has shown great responsibility in education and youth, and has opened her heart and her homes. It's my honor to present this to Lori Ching. To award this to Amanda Weissman for her contest. We are all
Inspiring program to meet with the residents of Allegro once a month. We got a lot of time to spend with them and participate in different cool activities, and it was just really inspiring, and I'm really humbled to win this award. Thank you.
Interfaith Tea. I am pleased to present the Mimi Weiss Volunteer Award to Louise Berman.
It seems as if they've been with us for many years already. They are here, both here very frequently, are very friendly, and participate in so many of our activities. Their son Benjamin was a bar mitzvah this year and is already actively involved above and beyond. The New Member of the Year award goes to Ilya and Michelle Cherkasky. Say somebody who does so much to help our congregation and has for many years. This person teaches Hebrew, leads service, is a member of the choir, a gabbai. Her effervescent and bubbly personality is infectious. This year, she took it upon herself to re-energize the indispensable mitzvah corps. This morning, she's running around here with hammers and screws, putting together a table for the mitzvah corps. This year's Member of the Year award goes to Lauren Baker.
Oh, it's for me? Oh, thank you. I'm humbled.
And now for the coveted
the Lifetime Achievement Award. This somebody has a wonderful family who are all actively involved in our congregation. Our recipient has over the years donated tens of thousands of dollars of in-kind donations to our synagogue, and does so without recognition. Our recipient is forever present in the synagogue and attends almost all of our events, but you may not recognize him because he's always behind a big black camera. The Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Rodeph Sholom.
Our outgoing president, his very own colleague. So I'm going to give this to your executive committee and past presidents that are here to place over you. It says Rodeph Sholom, Abraham Marcadis, President Rodeph Sholom, 5776 to 5778.
Thank you.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. מזל טוב.
Wholehearted in your concern, open-minded in your planning, patient in the face of trials, and persistent in the face of challenges. May your actions, by example and value, promote unity among all members of our congregation. The members of this congregation charge you to remember Israel's past and to cherish its heritage of Torah. We charge you to remember Israel's future, to bring light unto the world and glory to the name of God. We charge you to remember that the present is the narrow bridge that binds our glorious past to the future that we seek to build. Amid the daily tasks of leading our congregation, amid the worries and frustrations that often arise from those responsibilities, we charge you to be mindful of the vital and precious meaning of this congregation's existence. And now, as installing officer, I declare each of you to be the officers and board members of Congregation Rodeph Sholom for the coming year. Please remain up here until this ceremony is concluded. For president, the congregation has elected Steve Haubenstock. Upon your shoulders falls the task of highest leadership. We charge you to pledge loyalty to the work, not only of this synagogue, but of the entire Jewish people, being mindful that we are a part of Kalal Israel, the entire household of Israel. Remember, as you guide these leaders here in Tampa, Florida, that the efforts of our congregation must be linked at all times with the historic aspirations of Judaism. May God grant you strength and courage in pursuing these ideals. As installing officer, I declare Stephen Haubenstock to be the president of Congregation Rodeph Sholom for the coming year.
Abe has a presentation for our new president at this time.
Steve is the immediate past president. It's a great honor and pleasure to be the first to greet you as the new president of Rodeph Sholom and wish you a mazel tov on being able to serve our congregation at the highest level. I knew that you had great leadership abilities when, during the Inscribing Your Legacy and Torah writing campaign, I saw your leadership. And I thought that at that time that Rodeph Sholom would be very fortunate to have you as president someday. Steve, you have a very detailed approach, a friendly manner, but I know that you can be strong and determined when the occasion arises. None of us know what challenges are going to arise in the next 2 years, but I do know that you have the right stuff to help guide Rodeph Sholom through those challenges. I wish you great success in the future. It is my honor and privilege to present to you the gavel as president of Rodeph Sholom.
As president of Rodeph Sholom, I have a proclamation which I'd like to read. May 6, 2018. Whereas Dr. Abraham Marcadis exemplifies a player in this synagogue, having grown up here and through outstanding choices in party attire. And whereas Betsy and Abe exemplify being payers through their generous support of our synagogue. And whereas Abe has consistently been one of our most involved prayers through attending, participating in, and leading worship at Rodeph Sholom. And whereas Betsy and Abe have shown leadership, love of Judaism, Israel, our secular community, and especially Congregation Rodeph Sholom. And whereas it was felt by Abe that a bust of his likeness should be commissioned and displayed at Rodeph Sholom. As well, since Betsy may miss seeing his likeness when Abe is not at home. Now, therefore, I, Stephen Haubenstock, President of Congregation Rodeph Sholom, proclaim from this day forward that his likeness shall remain the property of the Marcadises, to be displayed at their home, to honor and thank Dr. Abraham Marcadis for giving his heart and soul for the betterment of our Rodeph Sholom community. So, so if you look in here,
It's like a hologram. My image.
the Torah and Tefillin. And it says Dr. Abraham Marcadis, CRS President 2016 through 2018.
That really is amazing. You're in good hands.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all for being here today. So, how did I get here today? Let me tell you, it's been a journey. One that has been fulfilling and wonderful. I know that the next 2 years will be fulfilling and wonderful as well. This is the 4th board position I've held at Rodeph Sholom, and I'm humbled to be elected president. It's a great honor, and for that I thank all of you. And there are a few others I'd like to thank as well. I'd like to thank the outgoing board members for your years of dedicated service. Although you are off the board, we may call upon you for some help. To our new board, thank you. We still have plenty of work to continue doing. We start this week with executive board and next week with our general board meeting. June 3rd is our board retreat, and this year we are participating in the Sholom for current leaders in conjunction with USCJ, the Conservative Movement's umbrella organization. To the rest of the congregation, I want to say thank you. We are all volunteers. Rodeph Sholom has the best group of volunteers anywhere. I'd like to thank my mother and father. They listened and learned the lessons of how to raise a Jew from their parents and the generations before them. They knew that Judaism and affiliation with the synagogue is important. I am proof of that affiliation. My mother is here today. Thank you, Mom. My father knew that I had been slated for the nomination, but did not live to see this day. May he rest in peace. Before he passed, he knew I had been asked to be president, and he was very proud. I also want to thank my wife, Susan, whose strong Jewish background, established by previous generations of her family, helped direct our family to the doors of Rodeph Sholom. Both of our families understand the importance of Judaism, how the moral teachings that are the fabric of our faith allows a civil society to exist, and a shul is the example for the greater community. The world I have surrounded myself with is Jewish, a world of spirituality, beauty, and wonder, always available to be explored by the curious and willing. We have a great synagogue, formed 115 years ago, so many generations of great families. Our family has now been at Rodeph Sholom for 30 years. Our 5 kids grew up here, learned in a great religious school, studied with great teachers, prayed with us together as a family. We have a great clergy, uplifting religious services, high holidays that are full of joy, celebrating all the holidays. We have a regular morning minyan, jammies and jeans, growing together Shabbat. We even brought in a new Torah in the last 2 years. Rodeph is here for all your family's ups and downs. Super programs and committees for all ages, an extra special caring committee, and a newly reconstituted mitzvah corps. Rodeph Rocks, Animal House, Anzac Interfaith Gatherings, Sephardic Music Festival, Latka Breakfast, and so many more. So we have a great synagogue, but what we don't have is a perfect synagogue. That's why we need all our members to be more involved. If you see something, do something. If you see it and want something done about it, join a committee, tell a board member, and figure out how you can get involved. Talk to clergy and staff and figure out how you can get involved. Talk to me about how you can get involved. So I will make you a promise, and we all know that we should not make promises that we cannot keep. So I am planning on keeping this one. My promise is I will do the best that I can. Some days may be better than others. Of course, most things cannot be done by one person. That is why we formed Congregation Rodeph Sholom, a group of Jewish people, as our name says, in pursuit of peace. Boker Tov, Shalom. Thank you all for being here. There is lunch in the social hall.
Thank you.
about that stuff. Kyle, what do you got going on today? What do you got going on today? You look bigger. You been working out? Yeah, you definitely look bigger. It's at 3.
Genau.
This is great, thank you. Steve's gonna be a great president. Rob.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, let's not get carried away.
And then Rob in here too.
All right.
I called Laurie, and I told Laurie, Laurie, you gotta hear that.
Very well deserved.
And then I heard Laurie.
Mazal tov.
Getting excited? Your son is very proud. Very proud of your son.
How does it feel? You feel lighter?
Yes.
By next week, when you don't have to be at everything, exciting. Are you ready for this? Lighter yet? Do you feel heavier yet?
No, actually, I feel lighter now. Having to, break.
Yeah, but they're good.
Now that you got that part, yeah.
That's how I found out.
It's a good color. Yeah, I love it. You're young.